Hi, I'm Mark Ainsley John, National Scout Commissioner. Do you know anything about the Scout movement? Well, we've been here since 1911. Personally, I've been a Scout since 1986, and at present, I'm the head of the Scout movement in Trinidad and Tobago, serving in the capacity of National Scout Commissioner. I started my scouting journey as a member of the first Marabella Cub Pack when I was attending the Marabella Boys Anglican School. My Cub Scout leader, or Kayla, was my infant teacher, and she introduced me to the movement way back then. The movement has grown and it has evolved since my joining the movement in 1986 to become much more embracive, so that we now have girls joining the movement as Cub Scouts from the age of 7 onwards. The Scout movement is impactful on the lives of young people because it creates in them a sense of independence. It gives them opportunities to participate in things and activities that they would not normally be able to participate in. It helps them to achieve leadership and to become leaders in small group settings as well as in the wider society. Because we are outdoors, our movement teaches young people care for the environment. So we do a lot of conservation and sustainable activities outdoors. For instance, I remember going on a hike for the first time as a scout and wondering about our environment and being amazed about our environment and recognizing that the awesome presence of nature was something that I didn't learn in school. You know, the tour guide for the hike, who was a scout leader, who was trained in hiking, actually shared his knowledge to us as young people so that we were able to go now and organize our own hikes. For me, my most memorable occasion as a young person in the movement was my first trip to Tobago to camp. This was my first venture away from my family with my scouting family, and it was also my first time on the boat to Tobago. You know, that stayed with me because whilst everyone else was sick on the boat, you know, we were prepared for the voyage because our Akela and our leaders told us how to prepare for the sea voyage. So we were able to ensure that whilst we were on the boat, we were well prepared for whatever eventuality occurred, including motion sickness or seasickness. And that trip in itself helped us to bond even better and closer with each other because we recognize the value of being prepared, which is our scout motto from a young age. As I progressed through the movement, I recognized that in our small group setting, our patrols or our sixes, we actually created lifelong friends, lifelong buddies. And those relationships that we developed as part of the Scout movement have stayed with me and have stayed with many members of our organization and our movement. So much so that those individuals who have participated in the movement as young people and who are unable to participate as adults still contribute to the Scout movement anytime we call on them to help give that same sort of experience to a young person. So we have many members of, or past members of our organization who work at different levels of our society, who we can call on to help teach a young person who has an interest or skill or a desire to learn something about that interest or skill that they may have within them. I recognized that I wanted to be a leader in the Scout movement when I saw icons of the Scout movement who are icons of Trinidad and Tobago, actually. So for instance, the first time I was aware of this uniform that I have on was at the age of 9 years old when I saw Manny Ramjohn and other prominent leaders of the Scout movement in attendance at a camp. And I told myself when I saw them that I wanted to be like those individuals. And they were all gathered in a circle and they were talking with our former president, Noor Hassan Ali, because he was also a member of the Scout movement and he was also a board member of the Scout movement and he was also a contributor to the Scout movement. And when I saw them all talking to him and I recognized that, you know, they were the decision makers of the movement because they had on this red, white and black scarf that I have on. You know, I said to myself, one day I would like to be like those individuals and actually make decisions for young people like myself. So today, as National Scout Commissioner, I actually sit in the chair and I work with a team of individuals to create opportunities for young people throughout Trinidad and Tobago to access the Scout movement as well as to have the same kind of fun that I had when I was a Scout. You know, we used to sing around campfires. We'd make up songs on the fly. You know, as a Scout, we would row in the Gulf of Paria. That would become our physical exercise. So we would also do, you know, some of the training that athletes do on a regular basis in terms of preparation for our physical activities. You know, and as National Scout Commissioner, my intentions are to ensure that more young people get access to the Scout movement and that the activities that young people have access to are also high adventure, fun, and engaging so that they can create lifelong memories within themselves and within their small group setting of friends as well as communities. I would like to personally invite all of you to find a Scout troop. You could reach out to us at scouts.tt or scoutsdt.com to see more of what we do and how we do it, to engage us, as well as to ask us any questions that you have, so that we could get more young people to become involved and we could get more adults to become involved. Because it is because of the adults that we are able to provide opportunities for young people. And it is because of families who are seeing the opportunities that are provided for young people, reaching out to us, that we are able to grow the movement and offer our communities the Scout movement and its promise of adventure. Thanks for listening to my OMG interview. I'm Mark Ainsley John, National Scout Commissioner, and I invite you to check us out at scouts.tt.